This is the Unorthodox Jukebox podcast. Thanks for listening. The content in this podcast is meant for mature audiences, and my views do not necessarily reflect the views of all men or all women or any of the guests on my show. Trigger alert. Anytime I say trigger alert, you know I'm about to say some stuff. You know what I mean? That might offend y'all. So you've been warned. The things that I say are often triggering and offensive. That's my disclaimer. Now, without further ado, in today's landscape, I don't think that men should commit except in rare instances. I think they should just be bachelors. And since men have a hard time with this, I'm going to go over my dating strategy and how to get women. I do also believe that men should be dating with a purpose. We don't often talk about that in the male community. I have sons that are becoming young men of age. They're starting to like women, so I really had to sit and think about this. Let's get into it. Now, I should preface this by saying that I am in a committed relationship. My girl is part of what I believe to be like 5% of women who are still traditional and would not necessarily try to take advantage of a man because it has been proven in her history that she is not money driven, amongst other things. I was blessed and I think a little bit lucky in that regard because I met her on Bumble. If you guys haven't heard the story, I'll tell you the story later, or it's on one of my other videos. Anyway, there are not many women like her, and she is the exception to the rule. And I cannot advise you guys on the exception to the rule. Me and my girl had a discussion about this the other day. She was like, we should be building up relationships. We shouldn't be telling them negative stuff. And I said, okay, you're right. You, though, are one, I'm not going to say one in a million, but you are part of a dying breed. You know, just like they say men are too. But I think men are way more reasonable than women. Buckle up. Buckle up. Here we go. Here's the first thing that's going to set you ablaze. Only commit if you want to have children. I would say never commit to a woman unless you are ready to have children. And being with a woman outside of adoption is the only way to do that. If it's anything short of that, I would say become an eligible bachelor while you are working on improving yourself. If you do want to have children, I do believe that marriage is the best way to do that. Now, if you don't want children and you find a woman worthy of being married to, then marry her. But I would say exclude government sponsorship. There are multiple ways to do that. And if she's unwilling to go along with that route, well, I would abandon long-term commitment altogether in this scenario. As I've gotten older and wiser, a lot of times I find my Christianity, my faith, my morals and beliefs and reality, they often clash. And I'm not anti-marriage. I'm not anti-relationship. Again, I'm in one. I'm in a long committed relationship. I'm monogamous by choice. But I am anti-government involvement. I am anti-usury because women use men all the time. And I am anti-men being taken advantage of. As I said before, if she is worth it, make sure to protect yourself and then go for it without government sponsorship. I went through a divorce, so some people might say that I'm jaded. But if that were true, then I wouldn't have elected to get back into another relationship. If you need proof that the laws of today do not favor men, you need look no further than Title 4D. Look it up. This is information that will help protect yourself from becoming a statistic of a broken governmental system that is sponsored marriage. You better get those prenups ready. The only way I would approve of government-sponsored marriages, like if I were advising my sons, is if the laws surrounding marriage and the disbursement of assets changed to be more fair. If they gave men more rights and more representation in protecting their parental rights as a father and a more fair distribution of assets based on, like, for instance, how many years you gave in the marriage, what did you do? Did you take care of home? That kind of thing. Not if you cheated, right? If you cheated, sure, that might be the reason you broke up. But if you were taking care of the family and stuff like that, and again, I don't condone cheating. I'm just saying, if you did that, it should be a more fair split as far as like how things split up, who get the kids, who get custody and stuff like that. Whereas right now, the government pretty much says, 9 times out of 10, we probably gonna give it to the woman. The only other time I would say consider marriage is if they met someone like my current partner who has the stats and the history and proof to back up the decision to be monogamous with her and want to marry. Before her, I'm going to tell you, honestly, when I got out my divorce, this is what I said. I said I would never marry again. But she sort of changed my mind. And she changed my mind about it to consider it because I wasn't even going to consider it. Right now, it is not fair for men, and I cannot, with a clear conscience, advise anyone that would ask me to get married to do so unless the woman meets stringent criteria. When you meet a woman, you have stringent criteria you have to meet as a man. I absolutely abhor the courts, man. Lawyers, judges, the courts, they screw that whole marriage process up. It stops being about God. It stops being about the two people involved. And it stops being about the things that matter over time. And trust me, women have smartened up and they know these things. One of the number one causes of divorce is money issues. That's always up there in the list. So what does that tell you? I mean, would that really be the case if women were marrying for love? Oh, crickets. I ain't hear nothing. Leave a comment and tell me what y'all think. Infidelity is also part of the reason for divorces, but that's another topic. That's another topic altogether. But if I had to sort of extract something for the cause of infidelity, I would say that women believe that sex is a chore in most committed relationships, hence the infidelity. Instead of going into the relationship with an attitude of service, what can I do to make your day better? Because I know you're going out here facing the world, facing these demons and stuff like that. So when you come home, I should make your home a place of peace. What do we get? I'm not doing that. Nope, he better do it himself. Ain't nothing wrong with his legs. Why am I fixing him a plate? What's wrong with his hands? This is the type of stuff we hear nowadays. Dying breed. I have stuff to back up what I'm saying. So, sure, you can bring up the argument that men could have all that and still cheat. This is true. But let's be real. Are men really getting a blowjob a day? I went there. Are women really interested in giving him sex every day or however many times he wants it? The answer is no. That settles that right there. And if it doesn't, leave me a comment and tell me what your thoughts are on that. With this dating strategy that I'm about to lay out, you can get experience in talking to women because most of us, I ain't gonna lie, men are weird, man. Until we get like maybe 27, 28, early 30s, man, we weird, bro. We don't come into our swag until much later. I know because I know some weirdos, but they eventually get their stuff together. But I'm going to give you some icebreakers in a few minutes on exactly how to get these women step by step. Without further ado, this is what I call the unorthodox dating strategy. This is going to sound counterintuitive to what you might normally do, but I'm giving you some gems here. Now, when you date, this is going to be opposite to everything you've seen your bros do, right? They run game. A lot of times game is lying, but you don't have to have no game. You just need to be honest. Be honest up front. Tell them, and this is the thing. First of all, you got to have a pair of balls to do this. You can't be no wimp. You can't be no wuss because you ain't going to be able to do this. Only real G's can do this. All right? Be honest. Be upfront. Tell them, I don't want to commit long term. I want to date. I want to have fun. I want to see what happens and then let them choose. If they want you, they're going to be cool with it. And then y'all can rock together and you can see if she worth getting married to. You know what I mean? If not, they only get simple dates, not the top restaurants, not the top experiences. They got to earn that. You save that for the woman that you really want to be with, not just jump offs, to help minimize risk and resources. That's what is expected of you as a man. You're going to have to come off some of that cash, baby. You got to pay to play. That's the world we live in. Because women will use you for time. They will use you for attention. They will use you for meals. They will use you for money. They will use you for your resources. So it's only fair that you get an even exchange from it. And if you're not, move on. The exchange doesn't have to be sex. So before you guys, but it can be like, for instance, her respecting your time. When you come to the date, don't be on your phone all the time. If I go on a date, I don't make a lot of noise, don't make a lot of chat. I'm just like, hey, babe, I'm gonna go to the restroom. I'll be right back. Ghost, I'm done. Or I'll tell her, you know what? This date has not been a nice date. But I'm gonna go ahead and check out. I'm gonna pay for the meal. I'm gonna holler at you. Don't call me. Seriously, man. You're not gonna use me for my time. You're not gonna use me for my attention, for my meals, for my money. You're gonna have to be worth my time. Or just avoid relationships altogether and work on yourself. I don't believe in tricking women into dating if you're not going to be serious and you're just going to waste their time. At least be honest about your true intentions. Be a man, be a G, and let them choose. Do not be a wuss. Don't be a weak man. If they're with it, cool. If they're not, on to the next one. Avoid the hassle. I really wish I could tell you to risk it all for love. As a man, I can't tell you that. For a woman, she can risk it all for love. I really want to believe that there are still some good traditional women out there that if things went awry, they would not totally try to destroy the man. My girl is like that. She literally is among the 5% of women who are like that. And I think I'm being generous with that 5%. You know, my cousin's wife, I seen them rocking for 15 years. You know, my girl, her parents rocked for 40 years. These kind of things, but I just don't think this is as prevalent as it used to be. I cannot advise you based on that hopeful 5%. And I believe I'm being generous with that. It's probably far less than that. I don't have any data to back that up. That's just my opinion. Y'all give me y'all opinion in the comments on what y'all think. Now, when we all start, we are really in love. We want it to work forever, but that just doesn't happen. And when women are emotionally scarred, the majority of them get back at the man with the leverage they have. Usually they want to make him feel their pain. And because they make emotionally based decisions, they try to take him for whatever he has. And they'll often use the children as bargaining chips to either extort or hurt the man. If I'm wrong, give me some numbers and refute my argument. Men are like, I love you. I'm so in love. I'll do anything for you. I will die for you. Until they see what this arena truly looks like when women become unhappy. You're in there to fend for yourself. You in that ring and you duking it out. You duking it out with the woman, with the government and their attorneys, child support, etc. And you'll rarely, if ever, win that fight. You will get black eyes, you're going to get a busted nose, and you're going to walk away licking your wounds, whether you're a stout Christian or an atheist. Those courtrooms, they have no mercy. They don't care. They have no regard for any of that. They don't care. You're another case, another number. They don't care about your children, just what comes from assigning you child support and their retirements. That's all that Title 4D stuff I mentioned earlier. The courts are rotten. Including government and marriages was the worst thing that could have happened. Before that, before the separation of church and state, marriages lasted longer. People might argue that women had no choice, but I would argue that more women were taken care of, more families were created. This is when America was the strongest. They understood the value of a strong family. Yeah, Mr. Johnson might have had another family across the tracks. She probably had the milkman as her plus one, as her side dude. I'm kidding, y'all. But the point was that both men and women understood the assignment. If you cannot tell, I absolutely abhor the courts. I mean, it has a lot to do with my divorce, but it's more because I was able to see the process up close and personal. It's ugly. Putting money in their lawyer and judge friends' pockets, and they make it dang near impossible for you to divorce without having to spend money on any of those people. If you don't want to date and you just want a woman, here's some criteria that you can use so you don't waste your time with a woman who is not romantically attracted or involved or interested in you. No free attention, no free time, no free money. This means friend zone. If she say anything about we can ever just be friends, leave. Go to the next one. She's going to be a waste of time and resources. After 4 dates, assuming that you went on 1 date per week at a minimum, then she should be, you know what I'm saying? It's a very debatable topic. I'm a Christian and I will wait, but no, not no 90 days or something like that. And I happen to believe again, where my Christianity and reality collide, I believe that you should see what living with that person is like and the sex before you get married. Again, this is times where my Christianity and reality clash. What if you waited and the sex was trash? What if you waited and you found out there was some living condition that was a deal breaker for you? Wasted time that is detrimental for you. You can't get that time back. You know what I mean? If she is not giving you reciprocated effort, cut your losses and move on. Or if you really like her and she says something like she wants to be celibate until marriage and you think that she is worth it after you have vetted her, then wait on her. My advice is to never make her your number one option or only option unless you are getting a return on investment or that you know it is mutual. Now, I would teach my son and my daughters different things because the game is played differently for both of those. Love can come later, but first there has to be something to invest into. If not, cut her loose. You don't need that liability. That's how women operate. Because trust me, women are making damn sure that you are something to invest into. Love always comes later for a woman. They make sure that you either have a career, something of potential that they see before they'll ever take you serious. If you're a Chad and you look good and maybe you know how to talk good, you got some swag, you'll probably get some attention or something else that she has to offer, but it won't be a long-term relationship. Only spend more time on the women who you really want. Woman. Now, I'm not talking because she got a fat ass or she got some, get past that. You got to become a man. Will she be a good wife? Is she a good mother? Does she have to be right all the time? Does she like to argue? Is she vindictive? Does she do things to get back at you? How long was her longest relationship? Whose fault was it and what happened? Is her father in her life? Is her brothers in her life? And do they have a strong relationship? These are pertinent questions you need to ask. I mean, a woman who you would consider having a child with, that extreme, someone you would marry and risk half of everything that you work for. Those are the only women that you take on nice, expensive dates. Everybody else get McDonald's or whatever your average is. Wendy's, In-N-Out Burger or something like that. I don't know. Going after women who check all your boxes and reciprocate are worth your time to make them a serious relationship. The rest is just going to rob you of time and resources. You don't need that. Only take women out on dates that you really want and that reciprocate or that give you something in return. Now let's take a pause and ask this. Do you think a man should be honest and say that he's just looking for someone only to smash or whatever, or only that he doesn't want something serious or not? Leave me a comment. Let me hear what you think. Leave it in the comments. Now, here's how to get women step by step. This is going to be crazy. All right. 1, get on the budget. After you've gotten on a budget and you got your money up a little bit, if you need step by step on that, watch the money episode. I give you some ideas on what to do and how to do it. Step 2, make sure you're as physically appealing as you can be. Hit the gym, fat asses. I can't believe I'm saying this next thing, but you dudes nasty, man. Shower, put deodorant on, put some cologne on, wear clean underwear. Wear clean socks in case you want to go home and get into some adult recreational fun. Make sure your place is clean. 4, start going out and at a minimum, go walk up and approach at least 3 to 5 women each time you go out or however many times you can afford to go out. That's why I say get your money up. It costs to date. But don't buy any of these women drinks. Not one. Now, there's some stuff I heard about, oh, you buy a woman to drink and walk away. I don't know about y'all, but I work hard for my money. I don't know you. I'm not buying you no drink. Don't buy none of them drinks, not one of them. If they want to talk to you, then they will be interested. This is not to score or to get numbers. This is to get you used to rejection. Then when you see that it's not that bad, it'll increase your confidence and your game. Your ability to talk to women. Here's some simple questions you can ask. Hi, my name is Mario. What's your name? What do you do? And then let her talk. Women like to talk. Let her talk. You look nice. What's your name? I wanted to know if we can get together outside of this club, lounge, wherever you at. Can I call you? Simple. And then walk away and talk to other girls that night unless she shows you genuine interest. It's a numbers game right now. All right. 7. I'm on step 7. If they ask you what are your intentions or something like this, or what are you looking for, let them know your intentions. You could say something like this. I'm looking for someone that I can possibly become romantically interested in the near future. But of course, after I get to know you. This is doing a couple things. First, this is letting them know that you're interested, but that your intentions are not to be in the friend zone. The goal of this is to immediately dismiss that friend zone crap. Come on, y'all don't want to be friends with these chicks, man. Unless you're getting something in return. She gets time, she gets attention, she gets energy, she gets dates, and you get reciprocated, somebody that give you peace and sex, if that's what you're looking for. Even exchange. If after 4 dates, she does not show interest, ghost her, cut her off, stop taking her calls. Your time is more valuable than that. You cannot get that back. Unless a woman shows you she worth it, it cannot be just looks. She has to try. She has to try to add value, or at least show that she's interested. It shouldn't be all about her. It should be mutual. It's not. And here's why I say that. A woman who has experience has that one guy, most of them, that just knocked her socks off. And you, my friend, will be competing with that guy. She will not make him wait. But if you don't stack up to him, she's going to make you wait. Nonsense. You either in or you out. If they look weird, or they give you a look like they have an attitude when you go talk to them and you being nice, all you can say is, my apologies. I'm sorry for interrupting you, and walk away and don't talk to that one no more. If they don't seem approachable after you're being nice, even if they look unapproachable, walk up to them, be bold, talk to them. But if they give you attitude, walk away. The goal of this is, again, to build your confidence, to build up your resistance to rejection, and you will win with some of those. Here's the rule, okay? Do not give too much attention. Your job is to let her know that you're interested, but also to make sure that there's other options in case she says no. So dating is like the stock market. And in the stock market, you never put all your eggs in one basket. So approach her, say your spiel, and then walk away, unless she engages you in meaningful conversation. And, you know, if you're talking to her or you're engaging with her and she looks at her phone, if she start doing anything disrespectful, she's not showing you attention or time, that means she's not interested. So then, in that case, you know, end it abruptly. You don't have to be mean about it. Don't be an asshole. You know, just, hey, it was nice to meet you. You have a good night, and walk away. Walking away is the greatest power that you can have as a man and that you can use. When women know that you are interested and they can leverage that, they know, even if they don't do it, they know that at some point they have leverage. They will manipulate and use you to get what they want, unless they start giving you meaningful conversation in the box. After a reasonable amount of time, you should just walk away from the situation. At the time that you can learn to say no to the low-hanging fruit, the stuff that's easy to get, this is when you start to gain power as a man, and when you can start dating with purpose and living in your destiny, you know, focusing on your mission. You can't do that if you are easily moved by the beauty of a woman. There's beautiful women everywhere, bro. So, fellas, remember, never give your resources to a woman who does not deserve it. You have the right to say no to being finessed. And find you a partner that will compliment you and help build you up. If at any moment she says something like, I want a already ready-made man, or I don't want struggle of, I don't want to build you up, and you know you're a good dude and you doing everything in your power, then she ain't the one for you, fam. Just remember that. Thank you guys for joining me today. I appreciate it. I want to take a moment to say thank you for listening, and to jump on over to YouTube to leave a comment there and see this podcast live in action. That's over at youtube.com/@Unorthodox Jukebox with the @ symbol. Also, I want to encourage you to become a part of the conversation and just leave a comment over on YouTube with your thoughts. And you can donate to the show via Cash App. That's at Rivers World 1. RIVERS World and the number 1 on Cash App. And sometimes I wear these cool shirts on the show. You can see what those look like if you go over to YouTube, and you can get one for yourself at bit.ly/growthgangmerch. No spaces. bit.ly/growthgangmerch. No spaces. And now, if there's a hot topic you want me to discuss on this podcast, I will shout you out and I will talk about it. So email me over at thetruth100%@yahoo.com. That's the number 100. thetruth100%@yahoo.com. Peace and blessings. Appreciate all the support. Thank you for listening. Tell me what you think about the episodes. Leave comments and tell me, what do y'all think? Make donations, if you will, on Cash App. Check out the merch. Get the book. I wrote a relationship book. All this stuff will be in the description. And if nothing else, hit that like. It doesn't cost you anything. I know I asked you for a lot of other stuff. Subscribe, all of that stuff, but just hit the like button if you liked it. And if you didn't, conversely, hit a thumbs down. And then tell me why in the comments. Let me know. See you on the next show. Peace, blessings, and prosperity to you.